How's it going, everybody? And welcome to dumbbell routine number 6. Now in this month, what I want to show you how to do is how to get a full workout if you only have small dumbbells. Now, if you're like most people, you probably don't have a full dumbbell set in your house. You probably have something a little bit more like this. Here are a couple 3-pound dumbbells, and what I want to do is show you how to get an excellent workout with these dumbbells without having to really use any other weights. You can just use what you're limited to and still get a great exercise out of it. So, first thing I want to talk about with this is duration of your movements. So the best way to get a good workout out of smaller dumbbells is to really prolong the movement to add that extra resistance. So an example in our first exercise that we're going to do is going to be a tricep extension. So what you're going to do is grab a single dumbbell, and if you have a chair or bench available, you can prop yourself up, lock that elbow in at the side, and then for a duration of 5 to 8 seconds, slowly extend that tricep back, lock it out and hold for 1 to 2 seconds, and then 5 to 8 seconds back. Now this forced control is going to make you engage those muscles to a much greater degree than if you were just snapping the weight back there and bringing it back quickly. Even with just these 2 reps I've just done of 5 to 8 seconds, I can already start feeling it in my tricep. And back. Now with that movement, you'll want to do your normal rep range. All you're going to be doing to increase the intensity rather than upping your weight is upping the number of seconds that you do the movement for. So if you're doing, say 5 seconds and that doesn't seem to be a challenge, you can move it to 8. If you're doing 8 seconds, you can bump it to 10. So the longer you go through the movement both forward and back is going to increase the intensity. The next one we're going to do is a squat to press. So you're going to hold your dumbbells right up like this, and with this one, squat nice and slow. Pause at the bottom of your movement, come right back up, and then go into a slow overhead press, extending them all the way up. Now, one modification with this is once they're up, you're going to let them come out to the side. Nice and slow. All the way down. Reset, and back into your next movement. Down. Up. Press. Nice and slow. And then out to the side, keeping it controlled. And I can already feel it in those shoulders. And when I go back to the squat, I guarantee I'll feel it in those legs. Okay. So our next movement that we're going to do is I want to keep some of that in the shoulders, but what you're going to do from this one is go into a seated position and just raising straight up and holding. And that's all we're going to do on this one, is simply hold. Now this hold can be for a duration of 30 seconds. You can even extend it to as far as 60 seconds if you have a very low amount of weight and you typically tend to be very strong. You can also add some additional movement into it, bringing them out to the side, bringing them back out to the front. But you don't actually want to raise them any further up or down, because the most difficult position is the furthest away from the body. Once you raise them up, you actually are getting the weights closer to your center of mass, so it becomes easier once you start going up and down rather than just holding straight out at full extension. And then back to front. And you can either stay straight in front or, like I said, alternate between the two for that full duration, but never bringing it any closer in towards the body, up or down. Excellent. All right, next we're going to go into a few lower body movements. For this, all you're going to do is replicate some of the movements we did in other programs. For example, the weighted step up, which is what I'm going to show you next. but just like we've been talking about, you're gonna slow that rep down. So I'll use this bench to demonstrate as well. Hold the weights down at the side. Keep one foot elevated. Now with this one, really slowly, and this takes some balance, press yourself up to full extension. Raise that knee. Bring it back down. And come to rest. Back up, nice and slow. And back down to rest. And then be sure you balance it out by doing both sides. All right, this next one we're gonna do is a weighted calf raise. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold your weights just right in at the front or down by the side. But the thing is, we're only gonna use one calf at a time. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and point the camera down so you can see my lower body. And with this, you're simply going to come up on one calf, holding the weights to the side, and raise up nice and slow, and back down nice and slow. Raise it back up, and back down. From the side, on the other foot, you're going to raise it up nice and slow. Pause, whoops, if you've got the balance. And then once you're at the top, lower it down nice and slow. So since I stumbled, that actually brings up a great thing that I want to show you. If you do have a balance issue, go ahead and grab both of the weights in a single hand. And I'm going to use the dumbbell rack for a little bit of balance. But you can grab hold of a wall. You can grab hold of anything you want to assist you in that movement. One thing you need to be aware of though, is you don't want to take any weight away with that hand. It's just touching the wall or the weights for balance, and then you raise up and back down nice and slow. All right, so our final exercise that we're going to do is going to require a bench or a chair, or you can do it flat on the ground. You just won't be able to get the same range of motion. So what you'll do is a chest fly. Taking the arms straight up, open them up, nice and slow. The further they get from the body, the greater the resistance. Now notice there's still a slight bend in my arms. As I get that stretch, hold it for a second and bring it back up and together. If you have the range of motion, you can allow it to come to an even deeper position. And I typically have pretty flexible shoulders, so I can let it open up really wide, still a slight bend, and then draw them back up and together. All right. So that is our 6th dumbbell routine. If you do find yourself stuck with just a couple of light dumbbells, you can still get a great workout, and it's much better than not doing anything at all. So don't look at the light dumbbells and say, hey, I can't do anything with those, there's no use in working out. You can still pick them up, get a decent workout in, as long as you just extend those rep ranges, get full range of motion on your movements, and make each rep 5, 8, 10 seconds long, however long you need to make it for it to become a challenge. And once you hit that 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, or even 15th rep of the exercise, you're really gonna start feeling the burn, even with just 3-pound weights. All right, until next time, I'll see you guys next month. Have a good one.